it's kind of weird because now boys are like, your mom's hot, or like down the hall, she'll be like, they'll just be like, dude, your mom has a level 10 GAT, like in the hallway and stuff. So
wait, I don't understand what that means.
Level 10 what?
GAT.
What's that mean?
Big ass.
Let's make some lunch for my kids. If you're tapped into the food creator algorithm on TikTok or Instagram, chances are you've probably come across Sulhee Jessica Woo's videos in making cute, delicious bento boxes for her 3 daughters.
AKA the Bento Box Queen, Jessica has amassed nearly 7 million people since her first TikTok of salami and cheese sticks went viral in 2020. Since then, she and her family have shared content related to cooking, DIY projects, family fun, beauty, and lifestyle. Though Jessica remains best known for her love-filled lunchboxes that aim to make her children feel special.
Hailing from Los Angeles, K-Town, and now native to Las Vegas, Jessica's also an artist, a makeup artist, a former marketing director, and entrepreneur with a BA in journalism and media studies with a concentration in advertising. Girl, that's a mouthful.
That's a lot of...
And she's a smart girl. And public relations. Her diverse background and hustler's drive have shaped her into the multi-hyphenate supermom that she is today.
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast, Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
Thank you.
Yay.
Excited to be here.
We are so excited to have you here. I mean, we've met like a few times at creator events. And I just want to say before we start off that like every time I see you, you reminded me of like a home girl, like literally like a friend from home. Like you have this warm energy about you.
Oh, thank you. You do too. I feel like we definitely like was like
the vibes. The vibes are there.
Definitely connected.
Yes,
yeah,
there's
right
something about like, I don't know, maybe your like mommy energy is just like nurturing. I just want to come in and like hug you every time.
Just cuddle.
Yeah.
You guys also look really good at events. I'm like, from afar, I'm like, damn.
I see her. I'm always like, damn.
Yeah.
I see you.
I see you right now. I'm like, damn.
Damn.
But we're excited to have our listeners get to know you a little bit more. So let's start off with going back to you. It was mentioned in your bio that you're an artist, a makeup artist. How did your love of art and creating get you into the career that you have today?
Well, I think it just shows the art side shows in everything that I put out in my content. So obviously the food, I love making it beautiful and aesthetic, and just even writing the notes. I feel like, that's a little bit of a part of me. Like growing up, I wrote notes to all my friends and we would make it so elaborate. I wouldn't even like to pay attention to the teacher. It was like, just doodling all day. Yeah. So even that, and then I do share, my lifestyle stuff. Like I still show a little bit of beauty in there, and fashion was a big part of my life growing up. So I like to show that part of me too. And everything I do, I feel like it encompasses my art side. I have to, because I'm such a creative person that if I'm not, then I'll get bored and, not interested. And, it's just not as fun.
Before becoming the Bento Box Queen, what were some of your other like professional endeavors? So it was makeup artist.
I did makeup, and then I worked in retail, hospitality, and then I was a marketing director for a cannabis company actually in Nevada because it became legal. I helped just brands with marketing, advertisement, everything, kind of like the liquor world, but now it's like the cannabis world. So that was interesting. And then I wanted to leave that job. I had my 3rd child, Olive, and then I was like, I want to be home. I don't want the 9 to 5, get home at 6:30, and then it's just bath time and bed. So I quit that, and then I did digital drawings of mostly babies. So a lot of kids, and like I was really big into the baby fashion world, which a lot of people don't know about, but it's kind of like the sneaker world, but it's like handmade, one of a kind, like $200 type of stuff. And I was really into that, and that kind of helped me with the digital drawings and, all the moms that wanted that stuff. And then I also made accessories for kids. So hair bows and keychains and bookmarks, or anything that I could think of that was like cute. I was like, I want to make that and sell it. So I did that for a while.
What was your shop, like an Etsy page, or?
It was my own website. I created my own website called Love Juliet, which is my middle child's middle name, Juliet, and Bushka Babe, which was my digital drawing company, and that was my first daughter's nickname.
Hello, ABGs. Who is looking for some new loungewear? Aren't we all? Don't we all love a good, comfortable outfit? I know I definitely do, and even better if it's cute. You know what I mean? Instead of those loungewear sets that make you look all frumpy, Skims is my new go-to. I have their soft lounge tank and boxer combo in heather gray. This tank is one of the best rib tanks I've worn. So soft and buttery. Not gonna lie, I've definitely had a few days in a row this summer when I just didn't leave the house and was basically living in the soft lounge tank and boxer combo. Everyone needs a little bed rotting here and there. Am I right? But when I do need to leave the house to run errands or meet up with friends, getting dressed is super quick and easy because I just switch out the boxers for a pair of jeans and the rib tank is cute enough to wear out. I've also been wearing the Skims Soft Lounge Scoop onesie in my yoga classes. The fabric on all their items are so soft and comfortable. I highly recommend getting your hands on them if you're looking for comfy and breathable outfits this summer that are great for lounging, erranding, or yogaing. Shop the Skims Soft Lounge collection at skims.com, now available in sizes XXS to 4X. If you haven't yet, be sure to let them know that we sent you. After you place your order, select AsianBossGirl in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows.
I can see how your origin of you're the makeup artist, the marketing kind of led you to do more creative work with maybe inspired by your daughters, being a mom. And I know you have 3 girls now. How old were they when you decided that you wanted to start recording the lunches that you made for them? And what was the inspiration behind that?
Yeah, so I had been making lunches for almost 5 years at that point. I started recording them. Addie was, I guess, going into 4th grade-ish. And my sister, I always say this, my sister was always like, why don't you ever put your food out there? You put your makeup, you put my first YouTube video was me painting a headboard on my wall, and she's like, your food's pretty. You do it every day and it tastes great, put that out there. And I never thought about food as much because I was like, I'm not a chef. I didn't go to culinary school. I felt very not as qualified, And so when my sister was like, do that, and I was like, yeah, I guess so, I do it every day and it's cute and I love doing it. So let me do it. And it went viral. So I was like, for me, it was just a mundane thing. So I didn't think about it. I'm like, oh, it's not as creative when I'm making stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But
how old were your daughters when you first started putting your videos out?
Olive was, I think less than 1 maybe. Okay. So there's, baby videos of her. And then finally her going to kindergarten, and it's cool to see the progress.
Yeah. Did you make the same type of you were saying you always made those creative lunches? You just never put it on camera.
So when I started, there was no cute accessories or there was nothing. So I used just containers that I had, just to-go boxes, but I would still make it as cute as I could. And I still wrote the note. I wrote a note every day. And so gradually, the more time passed, there was more stuff, and then I was like, oh, I can use cookie cutters and and I try to use whatever I had in my house. I use scissors to make decorations all the time. And now I want to say thanks to my videos, there's a million choices of things I can use now, which is crazy. But thinking back then, there was nothing that cool, or so I just worked with what I had.
And, Okay, so what was the first video that you did post, and did that video go viral immediately, or was there a period of time between that first video and your first viral video, a period of time where you're just oh, I'm just gonna continue doing this for fun? At what point were you like, oh, I could turn this hobby into a career?
So I started early, summer of 2019, and I kind of did a different type of video where I was like, all right, I'm making my kids lunch. And then I would skip the whole process, but I would kind of show okay, this is what she's having. And that account got deleted. So I did a few of those. I did.
Why did it delete it?
Why?
No idea.
Okay.
And then I was like, screw TikTok. I was I don't want to do this. It's not made for me. It wasn't meant
TikTok
to be.
queen over here now, but yes.
Yeah. So I was just whatever. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And so it took a few months, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to start this again.
Yeah.
And I did, again, just the trendy videos, kind of, filling out TikTok again. And I would put what I would make, hair scrunchies or, makeup and stuff again. And then I think it was around my 17th video. And that was the overhead lunch video. And that one went viral.
Oh, wow.
And then from that point on, you're like, okay, this is the blueprint of the types of videos that I'm going to continue doing from here on because it did go viral.
Yeah, so I made more lunches and then I kind of just like listened to what the people wanted
yeah.
and what they were saying, you know. So I would make like, a video about products that I use, you know, and then just showing more of my family and kind of and just went with the momentum because every video was millions. And even all the before videos all were, you know, skyrocketing. So.
At that point where you're like, oh, this is it. Like I hit like the jackpot.
Yeah, I was like, I made 3 videos a day from then. You know, I made over 500 videos that first year. And so I was like, and I love doing it, you know? And I was like, this is...
Well, 3, 1 for each child, right? No?
Yeah, basically, you know? And then the pandemic hit. So then I was like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do?
Make lunch for them at home. I mean, they got to eat, right?
Yeah. But it ended up working out for me because I could make it fresh. And I was telling everyone, like, I want to keep the same type of school routine where they felt like they were still in school. I wanted that strict schedule too. So I still made their lunches every day. And the cool thing is I could record them eating it because a lot of people were like, do they even eat that? Do they even like that? And, you know, they're like, can we see it? So I did a lot of the reaction videos and them eating during lunch at home.
Yeah, my girls love my food.
Yeah. I wouldn't be doing it. Honestly, I wouldn't. That would literally just like hurt me. And I just would probably just do something else because I'm like, I wouldn't spend all this time. Like, I know I'm a content creator, but I show everything that's real.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it's hard to just like make lunch and then like throw it out. Or like, you know, a lot of food creators throw out food that they make, which kills me, you know, but yeah.
Hello, ABG fam. If you are a parent, you know all about the importance of having a bedtime routine. Kids are kind of like us. We have our routines too. And for my kiddo, before bath time, we always scream out, vitamin time! And we race to the kitchen to see what color vitamin we're going to get. And the vitamin that we take every night is Haya, a sugar-free vitamin for kids. My son loves guessing what color he's going to get. It's such a simple addition to what could have been plain colored vitamins, but he loves guessing if it's going to be pink or yellow or green. The best thing about these Haya vitamins is that it is a pediatrician-approved chewable vitamin with 0 sugar, yet it tastes amazing. These vitamins fill in those common gaps in modern children's diets, providing the full body nourishment our kids need. You also get this cool bottle with your first order, and then they send you eco-friendly refills every month. We've teamed up with Haya for a special deal for the best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you must go to hayahealth.com/ABG. This deal is not available on their regular website, so go to HIYAHEALTH.com/ABG and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults.
I'm really curious. So I'm not a mom, but I also find myself really drawn to your videos and just I love seeing what moms make for their.
You love these videos.
I love I don't know why. I just find it really aesthetically really pleasing because I actually just enjoy eating and food. Do you find that like making like their lunches like aesthetic allows your kids to finish their meal faster? Like, or because I know some kids are picky eaters. Do you find that with your like even with your son and your daughter? It's like, oh yeah, like when I make an aesthetically pleasing lunch, they finish the meal.
You know, it's like the effort you put in, and it's like my girls are going to be like, wow, my mom made this for me like this, you know? And of course, they're going to at least be more willing to try things that they never have or that they might not necessarily like, you know, at first. But I always am like, try it, you know, you never know. And that was a lot of the reason why I was like, oh, I want to try different things because obviously I love food. I wanted to open their palates and show them there's so much, you know, with food and it's, you know, good for you. And obviously I was just like, I want to be there with you during lunch when I can't be all day at school.
Yeah, that's so cute.
And I want to say that my audience is actually not a big portion of my audience are like 18 to 25-year-olds who don't have kids. So you're not alone.
We like seeing, you know what you mean. I also like seeing like here's before and here's what they finished.
Yeah. Actually, going back to what you were saying earlier about how during COVID you were able to make it like fresh. I'm curious what your process is because if you think about it, like I know a lot of content creators have shoot days, right? Where you like batch record, shoot, whatever it is. Like for you, the concept is really that you're making this lunch perhaps the morning of, like when they have to go to school. But we all know how hectic those mornings are. Like I have one child, girl, 3, not possible. Like when are you making those lunches? Is it the night before?
It's right before. And usually it's like
right before
20 minutes before. And
what?
Yeah, literally if you see me in my kitchen, I'm like, all right, what am I gonna make? And like I gotta make something. And it's actually pretty funny because I just work better under pressure, I think.
Okay.
So in my head, it's just like a cooking competition show with myself.
With yourself?
Yeah, literally every morning. And
That's great.
Wait,
and I love sleep.
So you don't batch like beforehand. It's always the morning of.
I wish I did. I wish I could. The planner in me, I'm at like half and half.
Yeah.
I'm very like chaotic, but I'm also very like planned.
Yeah.
You know, but with kids, you can't, you know, and I'm like, I'm already doing dinner.
Yeah.
I'm already doing this. I have to edit and do all this stuff. And it's like, you know,
that's the only time to do it too, right? In the morning,
yeah. And I mean, I do a lot of dinner leftovers. So, you know, I'll reheat that. And that's my easy like lunch.
Wow.
But usually
That's
if
impressive.
if it takes like under 20 minutes to cook, I'll cook it up before and then do it.
Wow.
My next question was like, how long does it take you to create each meal? 20 minutes is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I try to keep it at like 40 for all 3. Because all 3 is a little bit different. But and then it's like times because my daughter now goes to middle school. She starts really early. So I have to get up for her and then
I was gonna ask, what time do you get up to film and then get them to school?
I think I wake up around 7 because
that's not that bad.
My daughter has to make it to school at 8 and it's like a 20-minute drive. So
how are you fitting in a shoot and a 20-minute drive?
I give myself 30 minutes to like get ready, make the lunch, have everything ready to go, and then I have to basically do the second part of my job, which is my 2 other daughters that start at 9. And
oh wow. So as you're getting ready, do you like shoot the content and you're like, okay, now done making the first meal, let's get you to school. Okay, second daughter, here's your lunch, film the content, let's take you to school. Wow.
Basically. And yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, I wish I had that much time. I wish you know, like, do you wake up at like 4 a.m?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, there's no way. There's no way. I love staying up late. I love sleeping in. And yeah.
I love the realness of all of this. And the fact I want to be like a fly on your wall and just watch this chaos happen. But also magic.
I should vlog more for sure.
Yeah. Okay, then zooming out, what is a typical day in your life? Because I feel like a lot of it is front loaded, where it's wake up, shoot content, get the girls to school, get ready, all of that. But from like the moment that you wake up to the moment that you put your head on your pillow, like how are you sort of balancing being a mom, being Jessica for herself, and also just your career?
I don't know. I just kind of like do as much as I can, you know, just be productive every day. Obviously, I have my off days and my daughters understand. So, you know, like they'll be like, I can make my lunch, or, you know, I'll have school lunch today. I don't want to, but, you know, they understand. So when I need to get stuff done, they understand. And I just, you know, I don't know. Most of my days, it's cleaning all day, you know. I do laundry every single day.
Yeah.
I am just, you know, and I'm cooking. So there's a lot that goes on in the kitchen. I have to wash up. And so most of my days filled with cleaning, meetings, obviously filming, editing, and then by the time I get a few things done, it's like my kids are back home, and then they want second lunch.
Oh wow!
So I'm like,
snack time.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so they eat, and then they eat again for dinner, and then my day starts all over again.
Wow, that's like a really jam-packed schedule. I think for you, you know, as also a content creator, do you have a team to help you like edit some of the videos, or you're like a one-woman team?
It's me. I've tried outsourcing, but my content is so personal that it's hard for people to, you know what's important. And I also do a lot of voiceover, so I have to voiceover anyway. And for me, if I can work faster than you, then I don't want to deal with someone else at this point, because then it's just slowing me down.
That's true.
Yeah. I wish my sister's around to help me with the girls. She'll watch them when I'm like out of town and stuff. But
true super mama right here. Wow, you're doing it all. That's incredible.
To all my wonderful parents and caregivers out there, let's talk about those unforgettable moments with your little ones. The first steps, the giggles, the boundless energy. But let's be real, with a growing and wild child, those moments can also mean unexpected messes, which is why I'm excited to share something that's been a lifesaver for us, Pampers Cruisers 360. Pampers Cruisers 360 is the must-have baby-proof diaper. These slide on like a pair of pants, unlike ordinary diapers with tabs or tapes that your escape artist can rip off. And trust me, thanks to its 360-degree stretchy waistband, it can help save you from some serious messes and keep your baby comfy. With up to 100% leak-proof protection, you can let your little one explore and play. And when it's time for a change, it's as easy as ripping the sides, rolling it up with a disposable tape on the back, and you're done. Simple as that. Try Pampers Cruisers 360 with the new Pampers Free and Gentle wipes for healthy baby skin. They're made from 100% plant-based cloth that grips the mess. With Free and Gentle, mess meets its match. Let your little one live wild and mess-free because every adventure should end in smiles, not cleanups. For trusted protection, trust Pampers, the #1 pediatrician recommended brand.
How would you describe the dynamic between your 3 daughters? Because I feel like family is a big like center point for you, right? Because that's essentially what started the bento boxes. It's like you're trying to show your kids love while they're at school away from you. So a lot of it is so like family oriented, and it's crazy how much estrogen is in like the
I have
family.
2 girl dogs too.
Wow!
Oh my
It's
gosh.
crazy.
What's the dynamic of the family in the house?
So right now, Addie's 13, my oldest. So
yeah.
her and my littlest get along more. So they'll
Okay.
kind of team up and
Oh,
then like
interesting.
gang up on my middle one.
Oh no, that's a stereotype.
I know, it's so bad.
Yeah.
And,
Mommy knows. Mommy's
yeah,
watching.
and then the little one is meaner to the middle one because she's not as older, so she's more of a bully to the middle one. But Maxine's so good, like she's so good, and they're just going through their phases.
Yeah.
Maxine used to be very impulsive with her emotions. She hit and bit and pushed my oldest daughter growing up, and my older one was an angel. She never thought about anything like pushing her back or being mean to her. So now I feel like it's flip-flopped where Maxine can vocalize her emotions and kind of hold it in and be more patient, whereas now she's like, well, you bit me all these years.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna like get you back now that she's
you're
bigger
older.
and
Oh man.
So
okay.
right now it's kind of chaotic, but they do all love each other and they're there for each other when it matters.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, and you have one sister too, right?
I have 3 little sisters.
Oh my goodness.
Can you relate to like their dynamic with your sisters?
It's a little bit different because I'm the oldest, and then I have 2 that are 14 and 16 years younger than me that I didn't live with.
Okay.
So they were pretty much my first children. And then I have 8 years younger sister.
Yeah.
And that was still a big age gap. So we're closer now. We weren't as close when I was little. And I moved out really quick. So I didn't get to spend as much time with her as I would have wanted growing up.
Wow. Which of your daughters is anyone like taking after you? Is like, oh, I want to be just like mommy and be creative and an artist.
I feel like they're all a little bit of me, but in extreme ways.
Oh.
So like Addie is very creative and loves art and, doing all that stuff. She's in media at school. So she does all the school's YouTube videos. So that part, Maxine's very like, she's shy, but she's very silly. And I think that's me. Very shy, but as you know, when I'm like at the gala and stuff, I'm fun and
The life of the party.
Thank you.
Yes.
And that's the same with Maxine, and she's just they're all like very loving and caring. And then Olive's just like so funny and she is crazy kind of, but she's very empathetic. She feels when I'm hurt or angry. And
Wait, how old is your youngest one?
6.
Oh,
She just turned
the
6.
6 and then 13's oldest.
Yeah, 6, 10, and 13.
Oh wow. That's fun.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah. I feel like, hearing your story, like Jessica, you're like super, super creative and like your work is so personal for you. And I think one thing as a content creator, like your content is also work, but it sounds like you also find joy in it. But how do you balance like the work aspect and the joy component of like creating content?
I don't know. I just kind of film what I would normally film anyway, because even if I wasn't doing this as a job, that was just me. I was the one that was like, like gatherings being like, everyone, can we take a picture?
Yeah.
And like I grew up with a very artistic side on my dad's side. My grandpa taught me how to develop film at 8.
Wow.
My dad he taught me how to build computers at like 9. So like photography and film, my dad was always filming me, and I think that part is just natural.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of figuring out what I want to share. And what I tell people is I just put stuff out there that I want to remember and I want to share with my kids mostly, and it's like if my kids won't be ashamed or like, because some people are like, oh, why would you put that out there? Like, why would you, you're a mom, why would you put this out there, and I'm like, well, I show my kids first, and if they are proud of me, then it really doesn't matter, and that's what I do. And I just take breaks, obviously content creation is a lot, and if it's personal, it is a lot when I'm going through hard times. Obviously I don't want to post or do anything, so just kind of take it day by day. I'm not very strict with my schedule. I'm not like I have to post, which I'm sure that's not good for me, but it's good for me mentally.
I think it's good to have that balance.
At what point do you stop making lunches for them?
Never. I mean, I'll do it as long as I can, as long as they want. My 13-year-old still wants it, like all her friends. Actually, like the middle school is more big on like, my lunches and stuff because they're on TikTok, they're on social media.
Yeah.
So
do they all know who like your daughters are and the lunches that they get? And are they always like, I want to see your lunch, I want to see what your mom made today?
Yeah, they do. And they're like, my Addie's always like, they're scavengers. They'll literally. So I'll pack extra for her friends because they're always like, trying to steal her food or
Always steal their food.
You're like mom for all the friends.
Yeah. But it's kind of weird because now boys are like, your mom's hot, or like down the hall, she'll be like, they'll just be like, your mom has a level 10 gat, like in the hallway and stuff. So
wait, I don't understand what that means.
Level 10 what?
Gat.
What's that mean?
Big ass. So now it's a little bit weird because now it's like middle school and like she's going to 8th grade, so it's only gonna get worse for me. But because I didn't have that in elementary school, and some kids knew, some kids didn't. It was more like the teachers kind of knew, and like
kids nowadays, huh?
Wow.
Is
she, and she's okay with all of that?
She thinks it's funny.
Okay.
And she's just like, I know, like my mom's.
She's
awesome,
like, I know my mom's hot,
but yeah, she kind of just like plays along with it. But she's like, I can't. It's weird. It was weird at first, but now it's more like normal.
Hot mom. She's the Stacy's mom, or now
Stacy's mom's got it going on.
Yeah, Stacy's mom. Now it's Maxine's and Olive's and Addie's mom.
I mean, I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah, it's better than not. You have a cookbook.
Yes,
that's incredible.
Yay.
Is this your first like thing that you've ever put out, like a physical product?
Yes.
It is?
I think so, besides my children.
Yes. Wait, that is so exciting. And we have it in here today. Victoria, would you mind? It's called Let's Make Some Lunch, and it includes over 150 recipes. Victoria's like, I'm just going to walk in front of this camera. Okay. This is Victoria.
Hi, V. Thanks, V.
Thanks, V.
This is beautiful.
Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. And I saw how you made the cover.
Thank you.
Land down. It was very cute. This includes over 150 recipes to mix and match to create delicious, where's the camera, lunch boxes. As her publisher, Penguin Random House describes, Jessica makes each lunch a celebration, spreading magic with each heart-shaped sandwich. I also have the little heart-shaped presser sandwich thingy. Each love note sealed with a kiss. Think of her as your lunch fairy godmother.
That's really cute.
I love that.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I mean, this is
wow.
amazing. And it's like a hefty book.
I know.
It's not like a small
it's like
book.
a Bible.
Yeah, what the heck? How many pages is this? This is wild.
272. They had to cut me off because I couldn't stop. I was like, I want this and this and this. There's stickers in there. There's you can cut out notes from there.
That's so cool. That is so cool. If you were to describe this recipe book in 3 words, how would you describe it?
The most awesome ever. I would say
most awesome ever.
just international comfort food is what I specialize in. So cute and yummy. Maybe that.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes, cute and yummy.
Do you have some favorite recipes that we could look forward to in the cookbook?
Yeah, I have. So my favorite section is around the world, and I hit on pretty much all of my favorite comfort foods from like, Mexican food, Thai food, of course, Korean food. So I don't know. It's hard for me to pick because everyone asks me that, but I don't know. Of course, like my mom's recipes are in there for the Korean stuff. So there's like Korean cucumber kimchi in there. And it's all levels, like obviously that's a little bit more difficult, but I have, sandwiches and just everyday easy stuff too. So I don't know. They're all my like recipes. So I'm like, I don't know. They're all good.
Did you kind of go through like all the recipes you've posted in the past and then, the ones that did really well or a lot of people liked, like you made sure to include those in the cookbook?
I added a few. A lot of book publishers want newer recipes too, since it's already out there. So I did put a few of my staple ones that I love, but I also did a lot of newer stuff. And what I want to basically, I made this cookbook for everyone, but also my kids, because I'm like, I want to leave them something behind that they can have forever.
I love that.
Recipes that I want them to make and what they like to.
Yeah. And what was the inspiration behind like figuring out what those recipes are? Because I feel like at some point, like with creativity, whether it's, with a certain type of content or like with creating lunchboxes and food, like it's after a while, you're like, now what do I make? How do you find inspiration for that?
My problem is just having too many ideas and not executing them and having time to. Like, I'm literally, my mind is always like, what can I do? What can I do next? What, like, I don't know why, but yeah, my mind is just constantly like, that's why they had to cut me off. Because like, once I started writing, I was like, but I want this and this and this. And then they're like, well, Jessica, like your book's gonna be like $100. People won't be able to buy it. And, so I think just inspiration just comes from everywhere. Just depending on what I'm going through, my life situation, my kids' life situation, what we're into, what my kids are into. Like I did a Minions video because we love Minions. Like so it's just kind of like I just free flow and I don't sit and write my ideas. It's just kind of just before bed. I'm always just like in my head.
Yeah. And I love how like your artist background meshed with like you being a mom and having 3 incredible daughters. Like this is like the perfect thing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, it's funny because when you're younger, you're probably like, oh, what am I going to be? What am I doing? What's my passion? And it's like, this is the perfect combination of all of your skill sets into this, thing that is now thriving because you are so good at it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've always knew I wanted 3 kids. Like I was like, I want 3 before 30 and I want a career. Like that was my whole life growing up.
Wow.
So, that was like my mindset already. And I just loved, being around kids and I love to love. So it's easy for me to do all this stuff for them.
3 before 30. That's wild.
I know. I had to wait because I got divorced, so it's 31, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Now we all know. Still, 3 before 31 is wild. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to be a young mom, for sure.
I want this cookbook for myself.
It's for everyone.
Okay, it's for all ages?
It's
Okay,
for
good.
everyone. I made it specifically, so it's broken down into breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then around the world. So they're all recipes that you can make for yourself, or a lot of my followers make it for their partners or themselves or their parents even. So
I love that.
Yeah.
For the
everyone needs love. So
yeah. And I mean, honestly, just looking at the book, it makes me feel it just sparks joy. Like the cover.
Yes.
It's so
Thank
nice.
you.
I feel like, making lunch boxes for children is like such a beautiful tradition, but like I know we have a lot of working parents that listen to the podcast. Are there recipes that are maybe under 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of recipes under 20 minutes. And I know a lot of people don't even have that much time in the morning.
Yeah.
So my one chapter is dinner leftovers. So it's you can make the recipes for dinner and then, of course, using those leftovers to make a lunch. Because I do that a lot of the times, and my kids request that. They're like, oh, I love this dinner. Can I have it for lunch tomorrow?
Yeah.
So
I
that's
definitely
so
need
smart.
this cookbook. Like it's always, I'm always thinking in the morning, but it's usually 90% of the time is leftovers.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like when we're eating dinner, I'll be like, Philip, you can't have that bite.
I know, I do that too. Sometimes I'm like, I gotta have enough for lunch tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, he needs that bite to be
Yeah.
full, so don't eat it. And then Philip be
That's
like, are
hilarious.
we poor?
I'm not like, I have
Really?
definitely. I've been at meals with you. You're like, let me say that for my son. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you
No,
have to
you gotta do what
understand.
you gotta do.
what you-
Yeah.
I'm like thinking about the morning. I'm just like, I need that
Yeah.
bite. What do you hope readers of your cookbook and like home chefs will take away from this cookbook?
I think just spending a little bit more effort and love into the things that you do that are, like everyday tasks, making lunch or even cooking a meal is kind of like a chore, like
Mhm.
I grew up saying like I hate cooking, but for me, I loved eating and I loved hosting and
Mhm.
doing things for people, which made
Mhm.
me, appreciate cooking and love cooking. So, I think it's just like, obviously, not everyone's going to do everything that I do, but if just a little bit of what is in my cookbook comes out,
Mhm.
into what you're doing, even if it's not a meal time, but it's like, just showing a little bit
Yeah.
more. I think that's the biggest thing, I guess.
Yeah, love that. It's like the essential, like a little goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
agree with that.
And people notice,
Yeah.
people notice, and it's the small things in life.
Well, we do want to do a for fun segment with you to kind of like a little fire round.
Okay.
So we'll be asking you a bunch of questions. The first question is, what is a pinch me moment that you experienced from your career as a Bento Box Queen?
There's so many. I've gotten to do so many cool things. I've gotten to go to the Grammys, the
That's-
White House.
Whoa.
I got to make lunch for the NFL, the Lakers. I got to work with Gordon Ramsay.
That was
That's
so cool.
crazy.
Megan Trainor knew who I was. I was a guest judge on Top Chef Family, which was amazing.
Oh, wow.
That's
I need
cool.
to watch that. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I don't know, so
So
many,
many,
I
so
can't, like,
many.
I feel so lucky and blessed. And like a lot of the times I'm just like, Grammy's not in my like wheelhouse. I'm not a singer, I'm not an artist like that. And to be invited to that like means really, it
Yeah.
means a lot to me. And even like NFL, like I grew up wanting to be a sports broadcaster, but it's like, obviously people don't know that,
Yeah.
but for me to be able to do lunch, like it's
Yeah.
all football and then my lunch is on their feed, like
Yes.
so that was really cool. And then recently I got to go to Tom Brady's roast. And
You were there?
Yeah.
I love that roast was so good.
Yeah, it was so good.
was
And for, there was only like, I think the only creators that were there was like 2 other people that I
Wow.
met. So
Wow.
it was really cool. I feel
Yeah.
very like honored at these places.
That's
Incredible. Oh my gosh. Very cool. Lots of pinch me moments.
Mhm.
Lots.
Yeah. What's your favorite lunch that you've ever created? Favorite.
That's hard.
Favorite of
It's
all
super
the
hard.
thousands that you've created.
I know, honestly, I don't know. I would just have to say like a traditional Korean lunches are my favorite because it was what I grew up having and it just reminds me of my mom and my girls love it, and when I in the beginning I was like, all right, I'm gonna put like a little bit of kimchi and like a little bit of this because I'm gonna see what happens
Yeah.
and see if my kids are like open to that at school, and like tuna and like whatever.
Mhm.
They came back and was like, why didn't you put more? Like,
Yeah.
what is this? It was such a like
Yeah.
normal reaction. And, I was like, wow, now like that's awesome. And it just like kind of made me so happy to know that I can share that part with them,
Yeah.
my traditional and cultural side.
That's
Yeah. I
amazing.
feel like you've like transformed the whole like lunchbox moment that a lot of people ask about when for our generation, like when we were
I
younger.
mean, it's true because,
Yeah.
like my videos, everyone was like, I want to try that, and like I grew up not really having that at all. And so for me, it was very like a really happy moment.
The worst lunch that your girls think you've ever created.
Actually, yeah. Do they tell you?
They do.
Oh,
I
really?
love feedback, because I'll always be like, let me know what you like, what you don't like, what worked. And like, it does sit for hours. So some things aren't as good. And so yeah, they're like, oh, it like I don't know. Sometimes it's like hard. Like it's harder when it's like sits and I can't nothing pops out to me where they're like, I hate this, but they do tell me, which is fine. And I'm always like, I'm sorry, and I'll do better. No.
Yeah.
But no, they just let me know, and they're like, I still ate it, Mom, but you know, next time I don't like this. But
oh, your girl sounds so sweet.
they're very thoughtful.
Yeah, that's incredible. I know it's like the worst whenever I open up my lunchbox and I'm like, oh, what did I eat?
Yeah, that's the worst feeling. My 6-year-old is the one that's like I always have trouble with because she's like, she likes the same thing all the time. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to try to switch it up so she can try other things. And then she'll be like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
And she's very particular about temperature. So it's a little bit harder for me with her to do a lot more different types of food.
Yeah.
So she'll be like, well, it's cold.
Yeah. Or the
she's the mean one. She's very, she's
I
mean.
love it. Do you use the metal like tin?
Yeah, for soup.
And it still doesn't keep it hot.
It does, but obviously I don't want to give her soup every day. I mean, she does love soup, but you know, sometimes it's like, I mean, if you want that, that's fine. But obviously me, I don't want to pack the same thing every day and make the same thing every day. That's the whole point of me doing different things so it's not the same habitual thing, you know?
Yeah. What would you want in your bento box if someone were to make you one?
I don't know, just Korean food from my mom. I don't know. I love her food so much and I miss everything. So I don't know. Just kimbap, I guess. Because that's what I grew up like taking on field trips and stuff. Kimbap and like a bunch of side dishes. Because my mom always packed like 3 or 4 side dishes.
So good. Dang. So a favorite memory from creating with your daughters?
You know, I think I just love the process of growing with them. Like, you know, just showing them like, oh my gosh, my first video got 5 million, you know, and like they're more excited than I am. So I think more than the filming, it's more of the process and journey that we've been on together and being able to go on red carpets with my kids and them being in my brand deals, which is really cool, you know, like these companies want my children, you know, to be in front of the camera also. So I think those are my favorite parts. And also being able to look back on everything that we've done.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's wild that you're able to build so many memories with your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. What is next for you? What are you like? Obviously, you just have this cookbook that just came out. So there's a lot going on with that. But if you look at maybe like 5 years down the line, like where do you see yourself with all of this?
5 years down the line, I really want to do voice acting. I feel like my voiceovers are so recognizable now that I can kind of put a mark in the voice acting arena. There's not a lot of Asian women in that field, so I definitely want to try to get into that.
Okay.
Maybe have my own TV show.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Wow. I can see all
I
of
can
those.
hear the voice now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I get recognized for my voice more than obviously my face because my face isn't in the videos. It's my hands.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I love learning so much more about you. Like we see each other a lot in these events and like I don't get to talk to you in like this much depth.
Yeah, never. We're always just eating or dancing.
Yes. Yeah. So I love learning like about how you got to where you are today. And I think it's just incredible that so much of this is just innate to you and so natural. And it's like nothing that's forced. And I think that is what's going to give you that like longevity for a super amazing career for the long term. And that's, very cool to learn
Thanks,
about
Helen.
you.
Thank you.
Where can people find your cookbook?
So you can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, pretty much everywhere. And then I'm going on tour. So I'll probably be on tour when this comes out.
And with that, we will catch you all on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, before we end this episode, I want to give a quick shout out to one of our ABG besties, Lucy Shao. Hi, Lucy. Woo! I love your name. It's someone special in my life is also named Lucy. And I have a friend that also had the same last name, Shao. We always like called him Fashao.
Oh,
Lucy Fashao.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you so much for supporting the podcast. We couldn't have done this without you. For anyone out there that also wants to become an ABG bestie, check our show notes on how to join. And with that, we'll see you next time.